I'm here in California with the 2025 Acura MDX, and I've had the opportunity to drive the A-Spec and the Type S. And so what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to do a brief walk around of this A-Spec model. I'm going to tell you some of the things I like, and I'm going to tell you the two things that I didn't like about this vehicle. And then we'll get into some brief driving impressions. So let's take a closer look at this week's car du jour, the 2025 Acura MDX. All right, so we are just going to jump into the exterior and interior walk around, and we are going to start with the front right here because this is going to be the primary difference, and it is going to be the grille. And specifically on the A-Spec model, you can see that you now have a frameless grille area here, and it just looks a lot more attractive, a little bit more elegant, and that is going to be what you see as the primary difference for the 2025 model year. Now, you are also going to have some different wheel choices and wheel options, and that is going to be trim specific. I also really like this Apex blue color that you have on the A-Spec model here, and yep, we're just gonna continue doing our quick little walk around here. And again, the side profile for 2025 is really not going to look that different. Come around to the front again, and we're gonna pop inside, and here you will see some of the bigger differences. Okay, no judging, this is my driving position, but the red leather isn't going to be different. What is going to be different is this right here. You have a new 12.3-inch infotainment screen that, by the way, is a touch screen. So you no longer have that little perfect True Touch whatever controller touchpad thing that used to be on the previous generation. Nope, you now have wireless Apple CarPlay, as well as a Google built-in operating system. So you do have the Google Maps, but then you have your wireless Apple CarPlay system as well. And as you can see, I've already configured the background to mirror the red leather interior. Take a quick look here at the middle seat. So you have your second row here, and again, this is the A-Spec model, so you do have some up-level materials, which includes HVAC controls. You have your fan right here, and you even have heated seats. You have USB-C ports as well as a little auxiliary jack right there. All right, we will do a quick look here at the third row. So how do you get back there? You actually just hit this button here, and then the seat pops forward, and then you can push it a little bit more to give yourself some more leg room. So I think this is a decent amount of space to get into the third row, and thankfully, Acura only puts 2 seats back here, so I can appreciate that. You have your USB-A ports back here, so USB-C for the second row, but USB-A all the way in the third row. And we'll get back there and do a quick review of that in just a minute. It is now time for me to jump into the things that I like on the MDX and the things that I don't like, and I'm going to be perfectly honest here. My likes far outweigh the dislikes. So be prepared for a much longer like section than a dislike section. In fact, there are just 2 things that I don't like on the Acura MDX, and it's actually specific to the vehicles that I tested, so it's not all Acura MDXs. Well, one thing is going to be specific to all Acura MDXs, but the other thing is just more specific to this A-Spec model that I'm driving right now. So here's what I like. First up, I cannot stress enough how much I like the duality of having your wireless Apple CarPlay as well as your Google operating system. You can have both, but some automakers choose not to. So I like the fact that you can have your Google Maps, connect your Google account, do your Google things, you know, deal with your Waze and Alexa and all of those things via the Google system. I like that. I like that you can do that, but then you can go back to your Apple CarPlay. to use your music, to do your messages, to deal with your voicemail. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Don't make me go into a Google system if I don't want to. So thank you for that. Really, really loving that on the Acura MDX. Then you have this little guy back here that I've been totally geeking out about because, yeah, he essentially mimics what you are doing. So the brakes are on, the brakes go on. Your turn signal goes on, your turn signal goes on. Your lights go on, your lights go on. So that is a very easy way to tell if your lights are on, your braking, your turn indicator, all of the things. It's silly, stupid, simple, and I like it. Next, this may come as a surprise to some people, but hey, you know what else I like? I like this wireless charger. Now, in addition to the fact that it actually charges your phone, and you can have it slightly askew, you can move it forward, you can move it backward, and it stays in place and continuously charges your phone. It will heat up your phone a little bit, but it never overheats your phone. So it actually charges your phone and it doesn't overheat your phone. I was in the car for about 3 hours and had my phone in here the entire time, and it never shut down Apple CarPlay, never overheated my phone, never gave me an error message. So finally, a wireless charging system that works in a vehicle that's not General Motors. Thanks for that. I also like this little guy here. This is just a cool little tech feature, and it pops up both a USB-C and a USB-A port. Lest you think that's all you've got, you also have 2 USB-C chargers right here. I like all the chargy things. Now, unfortunately, the next thing that I like is going to be something I can't actually show you, really. It is this up-level premium Bang & Olufsen audio system. But I really like this system. It has a 19 speaker system in this A-Spec that we've been driving, and there is a 31 speaker system in the Type S model we drove previously. And I played around with cranking up the audio system, so really just cranking it all the way up to 40 and then listening for distortion. And the 31 speaker system was really amazing, and this 19 speaker system is just really nice. But yeah, if you're an audiophile, you're definitely going to want to check out this audio system, and you're going to want to crank it all the way up and just see how that sounds. The 31 speaker system, pretty awesome. Now we're going to have to exit the vehicle to show you another feature that I really like is going to be at the back. So in addition to having some kick activation going on, you also have a feature back here that they call walk away. So say you are taking something out of the vehicle, your hands are going to be full, you don't want to balance on one foot awkwardly and try and find the kick spot under here. What you can do is hit this right here, and you will see there was a beep, it turns green, and then what happens is if you just walk away from the vehicle, the rear lift gate shuts. So you don't have to do anything, you just walk away, and voila. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about on my like list is going to be this right here. And this is a magic middle seat because it is removable and it is fairly easy to do, but I'm going to tell you it is a little bit heavy. I don't know exactly how heavy this is, but I'm going to estimate it weighs between 30 and 40 pounds. So, all right, to remove this, what you need to do is first you pull this strap and you can put this down. So this is actually a really nice feature for your outboard seats because armrest and cup holders, device holder. But if you don't want this here, if you want more space, if you want to put a bag here, if you want to have your own little table here, I don't know. If you want this gone, you first flip it down and then there's a strap right here that you pull and it releases the hooks underneath, and then you can tip this forward. And then once you tip this forward, you can pull it up and remove the seat. So like I said, this is going to be a little bit heavy, but it is fairly easy to operate, and then you can shove it out the door when you are done with it. Now, to put it back in, it's also, again, fairly simple. You do have to line up the hooks. So you tip it forward, find the hooks, and then you can tip it back and, you know, just kind of lock it into place there, and then pull this up, and there you go. So in or out, like I said, does weigh about 30 or 40 pounds, so it's not something you're going to want to do every day, but it's manageable, it's doable, and yeah, it's kind of a cool feature. I like it. All right, it is time for me to jump into the things that I don't like, and we are just going to start in the third row. Now, I'm going to say this is not a completely horrible third row. The headrests don't suck. They don't push your head forward at an awkward angle. You only have 2 seats back here, so you have plenty of shoulder and hip room. That is all good stuff. But I am going to tell you, it's a little bit claustrophobic back here. So these windows at the side are just a little bit small, and so you feel like really closed in. And then these are like kind of high. I feel like Mr. Wilson, but you know, these are kind of high, and you know, so you just feel very, very closed in back here, and that's a little bit tough. Now I do have about 2 inches between my knee and the back of the seat, so there is some good leg room. But you know what? Let's move this a little bit so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. The seats kind of don't go up high enough. So I have like about 4 inches between the bottom of my knee and the bottom of the seat, which means I feel like I'm kind of sitting like this. And that is not ideal. Now, I should tell you, if you don't already know this, I'm about the size of an average 10-year-old. I'm about 5 feet tall, I weigh 95 pounds, and that means this seat right here is made for somebody like me. You will probably be able to fit adults back here occasionally in an emergency, but you're really not going to want to put somebody bigger than me back here. Now, yes, these seats do move forward a little bit, and yes, you can negotiate space, and yes, you can take this out so, you know, you could put your feet through here, but yeah, this is an occasional third row seat. It doesn't suck, but it's not great. So I'm stretching here. I don't really not like it, if that makes sense. But I needed something to put on my do not like list, so here it is. This is not the best third row seat I've ever been in, but it doesn't suck. All right, now it is time for the final thing on my do not like list, and that is this right here, black lacquer. So as I've said, I'm in the A-Spec model, and you have this swath of black lacquer on the dash. You have it here in the center console, and it's just going to get really dusty and fingerprinty, and I don't know. I just wish that automakers would stop using black lacquer, but then again, I suppose the alternative is something like this, which also doesn't look that great. It's kind of hard plastic, and you know, I don't know. It doesn't look great either. So I don't know what the alternative is. Maybe you use something like this, but the black lacquer there and this trim material here is kind of a downer for me. And unfortunately, it's in the front seat, so that means you're going to see it every day. So if that doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. But it just, I don't know. Again, I'm reaching here because I generally really like this vehicle, but that is something I do not like. All right, it is now time for me to close out this video with a few driving impressions. And what I want to say overall is I really like the MDX. So I've been in the A-Spec and I've been in the Type S. And this is a really solid, comfortable vehicle. The seats are comfortable. The driving manners are very competent, planted, and solid. But there are a couple of things. So there is a little bit of road noise coming in. So the tires and the clack, clack, clack from the road is kind of creeping into the cabin a little bit more than what I would want for something that's in the near luxury spectrum. So that is just a little bit ish. And I will also say that this feels very heavy. And as a petite driver, I did find myself doing this a lot because I can't quite get the seat up high enough to see over the hood. So the side windows are good, but the visibility out the front is just, it's just okay for somebody my size. So it drives a little bit heavy. The visibility is just okay. But once you get on the highway and you're going in a straight line, this is just very, very comfortable. And you know, I could cruise for hours. So I like all of those things. I will also say that I really appreciated the adaptive cruise control. They've made some improvements to the system, so it feels a lot more natural and a lot more comfortable, and it drives a lot more like I would drive. So previous iterations of the MDX that I've driven, I feel like the adaptive cruise control system has been and it's just been a little bit herky-jerky, and that's not my favorite. But now it actually operates really well. So A-Spec versus Type S, there is a big price difference. So if you're wondering if you should spend the money, I'm just gonna say yes, because while this A-Spec is nice, it's a little bit crude in comparison. And I mean that in the nicest possible way, because this is a solid vehicle, but the Type S just sings. It's fast, it's smooth, and it just, I don't know, it's a little bit more effortless than this vehicle is, and it also has that really excellent 31 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system that is just amazing. It's amazing. So overall, there's a lot to like here. This is a solid, competent 3-row cruiser that will be great for a family as long as you're only putting children in that 3rd row seat. It's fast when it needs to be, it's smooth, and yeah, it actually fits people and stuff. So early impressions after about 4 hours behind the wheel of the 2025 Acura MDX are very favorable. Okay, that is what I have for you today in the 2025 Acura MDX. Thanks for checking out my likes and dislikes, and I will see you next time with a new car du jour.